In this video, we're going to look at how to create a B-sized custom title block in Onshape. And we're going to get started by going into Create and by selecting Document. And what we're going to start off with is just having an untitled document and selecting Create. We're going to go down to our plus sign here in the bottom left-hand corner to insert a new tab, and we're going to create a drawing. The thing we're going to look for to start off with is we're going to use the Onshape B-sized inch drawing template with no views and select OK. Similar to how we've done in the previous video with the A-size title block, I'm going to close the select a part or assembly menu and then also close the insert view menu as well. So that way I can start to kind of clean up the drawing. So usually what I like to do is kind of select some of this stuff along the outside edge so we don't have to worry too much about zones and some of these other little items. So I usually just kind of like to have the title block without a lot of that information. So you'll notice I did get rid of a little bit of my border. So let me Control Z here. Let me see if I can just grab this portion. There we go. And then same thing along the bottom. Whoops. Control Z is always a friend of ours. Can also do a window crossing here. Just select that. Select delete, and I'll also select the title block and delete it. So now we're left with just the border, and very similar like how we did last time, we're going to go ahead and use the line tool. We're going to draw a horizontal line across the bottom, connecting one side to the other. I'm going to press escape on the keyboard to stop drawing the line. I'm going to grab the dimension tool, and let's see if we can get about a 1-inch measurement here. So we're a little bit over. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hit escape to stop placing dimensions. Select this line and drag from this midpoint down just a little bit. See if we can get it kind of close to 1 inch. That's a little closer, and I like that. Looks pretty proportional to what we're looking for. Once I have that measurement, I'm going to go, or once I have where I want it positioned, I'm going to delete this measurement and this dimension so that way it doesn't show up in our template. I'm going to draw a few vertical lines as we go on. We've got one about here. If I select L on the keyboard, I can run my line tool once more. Put a second one in. I'm going to escape. Press L one more time. Put in another one. And then we're going to put in just one more, which will be kind of down toward this end. Running the dimension tool, I'm going to select from this side to this vertical line, first vertical line. Pressing escape, select the line and drag inward. We're going to go to about 2.5. Get as close as we can to 2.500 or 2.50, I should say. And I'd rather be over it just a little bit rather than. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so just so happens we got it even there. I'm going to go ahead and dimension from the first line to the second line. And from the opposite side, we're going to do the exact same thing. And what we want is both these measurements to say about 3.5. Let's see if I can kind of get this down just a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Same thing here. Let me go the other direction. And that doesn't look too bad. So once I have those kind of placed, I'll go ahead and delete these dimensions. I'm going to run the line tool once more. From the midpoint of this line all the way to the midpoint of this line, we'll go ahead and place that in to create our sections. And from now we can go ahead and start to insert an image by importing. I'm going to start off with, in my pictures, I've got a VHS logo that I can open up here. And I'm going to select it, go into this first box, draw a rectangle in. Looks like it snapped to that corner there. So let me hit undo. Let me try to hit the insert image. Let me click this again. So if you notice, it kind of snapped to the corner down here when it did that. We don't want that. So I'm going to click and drag. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and place it and just kind of get it centered in there. So we got a little bit more room in this box than what we did on the A size sheet, and that's okay. Go to the other side, insert an image, import, select our PLTW logo, select open. I'll select it, draw our rectangle in here, stop just a little short, and I'm just going to kind of center it inside of there. Alright, so here is our template, very similar to last time. We're going to go ahead and start setting up the information utilizing the note tool. And up here in this corner, we're going to go ahead and go with student name. And again, just adjust to get it all on one line here. Select the green check mark. Below, we're going to go ahead and we're going to insert a property. So drawn by, green check mark. We're going to go ahead and put in this down here since we got a little bit more going on. We got the teacher's name we can put in. And in this case, we'll just put my name in. Green check mark. Next section, drawing name. I usually like to give this section just a little bit more room just in case you got a drawing name that's pretty lengthy. And then for the property, we'll use the drawing name. Green check mark. For this box here, we'll go ahead and we'll put the course title and get it all onto one line. Perfect. Green check mark. And it looks pretty good. If we need to recenter it, we can go back. We'll put the date. Green check mark. Right below it, we'll insert the property of the drawing date drawn. We'll put the scale down here. And below in the insert property, we'll go ahead and choose the sheet scale and select the green check mark. Go ahead and select the escape key on the keyboard to stop placing notes. And if we need to adjust any of the text or anything like that, we can always kind of adjust and move some stuff around. But this is going to give us a B-size title block to work with, a larger sheet of paper. What we're going to do is down here on the Drawing 1 tab, I'm going to right click and select Export. For the drawing name, I'm going to go ahead and call this IED. We'll say B-sized title block. And we'll keep all this other information at default and select Export. So it's going to send us to our downloads once we get it exported. So you see it kind of threw it up there up there at the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Onshape up here in the upper left hand corner. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to go ahead and go to Create and Import Files. From my downloads, select the B-size title block and select Open. And that's going to import that into our panel. So now down here, you're going to see that I've got a B-size title block. I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and I can also drop it up here in this folder as well. So now I do have two untitled documents down here that I'm not using. I'm just going to go ahead and send those to the trash because we don't need to use those because we've already got our drawing templates. If I click in the title blocks folder, you'll see I've got B-size title block that was just added. A-size title block is in there from before, and now we can use those. And just like how we did in the last video, we can always select an item, use a specific title block in order to create our drawing template, and we'll be good to go. So this finishes out how to create custom title blocks in Onshape, and hopefully you can use those a little bit better than some of the default ones, give you more drawing space, and make life just a little bit easier when it comes to dimensioning and creating your drawings.